Copenhagen Wolves and Orgless on Inferno. Second map coming up. I'm Metis. I'm solo casting for you as I have been the entirety of this evening. Hopefully it's been somewhat enjoyable for you guys. If not, tough tits. Get wrecked. 3 flashes and a Molotov. Incendiary. I've got to get used to calling them incendiaries on the CP side. People get really mad about that, even though it's effectively the same thing. Well, incendiary does more damage, but whatever. And costs more. Either way. Copenhagen Wolves. I'm going to be just chilling for now on a very standard defense side here from Copenhagen. On their CT side. 3-2 stack. Sometimes you'll see a sweeper go into Speedway. Snappy's actually just going to be holding archers instead. This affords 2 players with a crossfire down in the form of SMF, who's already taken heavy damage. And Nico at the back of the site. And this is super slow from Orgless. They do have plenty of utility to play with. Molly, 2 smokes, 2 flashes. So they can look for a set play onto that B side. The problem therein is it's kind of hard when smokes are down. If the CTs get sneaky and hide in the smoke and start tapping the USP, it's extremely difficult to know where the fire's coming from. So it can actually bait your own team members out. So I'm curious here if Orgless are going to go for the full-on smokes. And yes, they are. That's a pretty nice flashbang thrown in from Percy. He has to move his way out of shadow for the time being as the Molotov lands there. And now he's going to be charged down from Barbar. So this set play so far is looking good for Orgless. Still yet to put the bomb down, but they will momentarily. I think that's on the grill for now. Snappy answers back. Are we going to have yet another retake? Flash catches Taboo totally unaware as they try and retake. And there's a terrorist do come in from behind through ruins. 3 plays 3. There is a defuse kit in the hands of Copenhagen Wolves. But that was on Snappy, and he's now been dropped from a P250. Nico right back. It's blow for blow. Both teams just exchanging blows in the center of the ring right now. That bomb ticking down. Here comes SMF. They're still very worried in case someone's in shadows and be checking down. And going for that defuse. Now the question is, can Nico fend this push off? He's trying his best to be the bodyguard. The first frag goes down, but oh, it was so close yet so far. Barbar's there to pick up the final frag. And after all hell broke loose and all 10 players got in the thick of the action, it came down to just that one P2000 headshot, as it oh so often does in Counter-Strike. Orgless just about get the upper hand. And Copenhagen Wolves now with a force buy of a lot of utility, including 5 smokes in actual fact. That's purely off the basis of pretty much everybody on their team getting frags. Let's have a look. 2 kills for Nico, a couple kills spread through the other players as well. You could see good guy Nico was trying to be a bodyguard. It was so romantic. But they ended up going down with the ship together. 1-4 trade early on. In Banana, I believe that was. Cameron was fixated with Nico. Just loves that. The fact that he has a monkey business Banana 5-7 skin plus a Banana profile picture. You've got to love that he's matched that up. I'm surprised he's not actually playing in Banana as well for his team. So he's kind of traded out on that aspect, I suppose. Meanwhile, this is going to be a B split. 2 players coming through archers to get round the back of Copenhagen Wolves. It's a pretty standard strat, especially in rounds like this, where typically the CTs want to play more passive positions with their pistols. That does give up vital positions on the map, such as mid and archers, and because they both have upgraded pistols with a fair amount of equipment value between them, they will just be saving the 5.7 plus the Kevlar and the Deagle. Adzi, the reason they ended up giving up mid and archers is because typically with pistols, what you want to do is hold like close angles and use the pistol to its strongest effect. So they were banking on the idea of an A execute instead. Playing very passive. I think both players were around like Pit and Apps. It backfired, and it's a great call from Orgless as well, realizing that situation and pushing through archers. Like very, very smart indeed. And it's kind of one of those kind of situations as well where Copenhagen Wolves are like, okay, we stack on A. If they push us, we've got a chance at maybe clutching this round. If not, we can just save. It's kind of a risk, and often you do have to do risks when you're in those kind of scenarios and those rounds where you've gone for a force buy. This time it just didn't really pay off for Copenhagen Wolves, but they are going to be able to keep the Kevlar and the 5.7 and the Deagle in place, and maybe they can do something with those weapons this time. Who took the first map? Top right of your screen, bro. Orgless took it. 16-7 on Mirage. With a stack on sandbags. The first two players could bait Barbar out, but I like how intelligently he's played this. That's incredibly disciplined Counter-Strike. 2 kills, just backs away. 14 HP, trades out the Glil for the AK. Don't give any needless deaths away. Because 2 players out in the open like that, you assume that's the double stack on Banana and no one else is there. They could have just walked into a huge trap there from Copenhagen Wolves. So disciplined play, but they're going to line up for the Eagle. Oh, how did Percy miss that first shot? That looked dead on to me. Kind of unfortunate. He does get traded out after picking up the kill. Reminiscent of round 2. Orgless will charge through arches onto the B side again. And Nico wants to keep this antiqued 5.7 at this point. It's been around for so long. Through into round 4. Let's go on board with him as he is the last remaining counter-terrorist. And he has it all to do if he wants to try and retake, which for me would be a bit of a misplay. I think he's maybe looking for an exit frag at best. And it's not going to happen. However, he can buy up next round, so it's not a huge deal. Isn't this a CT-sided map? It absolutely is, Danny. This is one of the issues with losing the pistol round. You're up against it. Now, it all has led to this point. Copenhagen Wolves lose the pistol, lose the subsequent rounds as well. That's kind of to be expected. But now they have to start winning rounds because this is where things get terrifying for a CT's perspective. If you lose this round, unless you end up picking up like 4 kills in the process, chances are you're onto a couple of pistol upgrades and nothing else in round number 5. So at that point, you're staring down a potential 4-0 deficit and it could get a whole lot worse. So this is a huge round for Copenhagen Wolves. They desperately need to hold on to this one. Yeah, there are 2 stand-ins today. Taboo and Nico are standing in for Hunden and Glaive. Yep, 1-0 to Orgless. So for those of you betting, curious as to how it works here in the best of 2. If you bet on Orgless, they win this map. Congratulations. You win yourself some tasty skins. If they lose this, you get your skins back. Copenhagen Wolves' best case scenario for them at this point is a draw. And here we go. The pause has came and gone. Copenhagen Wolves need this round so bad. No open play for Snappy, so he's not going to be able to get any early picks through Banana or mid. Standard setup so far from Copenhagen Wolves, not assuming Banana control because they simply don't have the grenades to pull it off. Typically you want to flash your way in, get a smoke down deep into Banana and then push down Banana itself, but that is a huge body blow, a crunching blow, a rib breaker if you will for Copenhagen Wolves. They're going to struggle to breathe now. This almost forces Taboo's hand to try something aggressive because playing passive at the site on your own makes you very vulnerable to potential grenade pushes, and SMF gets a bit too antsy. He decides to look for the information, and doing so he finds himself flash. After saying how important this round was for Copenhagen Wolves to start to bounce back into this map, to lose 2 players so early and pretty much for nothing in return is pretty much as bad as it gets. Silence falls on the battleground. No one wanting to make a mistake, especially for Copenhagen Wolves. Still 2 players on A. I feel as though Orgless would have called this one, and I feel like that bomb is going to go over to the B side right now from Maeve. That makes the most sense to me in this kind of situation. You can see that Orgless still pushing players. Oh my goodness, they just walked past each other. They did indeed. All the director-camera is having a nightmare. They didn't spot that Snappy and Flash literally just moved past one another. I was about to switch on to Taboo, who I was going to say is the last player on B that can maybe stop this push, but he gets AWP'd instantly. And now Snappy is in a formidable situation. And he's not going to get anything from it. That is as bad as you could ask for from Copenhagen Wolves. Not only do they lose the round, they get 0 kills in the process. So I was saying they'll be staring a 4-0 deficit down the barrel of a gun. It could very well be a 5-0 deficit, and they're into another force buy that they desperately need to win. Otherwise, Orgless just start to run away with this map. Trying to be 2 casters way more fun. Dude, to be completely honest with you, I shouldn't even be casting this game. I had a death, someone close to me in the previous best of 2. So I'm kind of like a bit delirious at this point, kind of numb. But the no casters could fill in for me, so that's why I'm casting this one as well. Doing the best I can, bro. It's kind of expected that Orgless would walk away with this round, but Huiten with 2 kills, pretty tasty stuff from him. They were looking for that peak, hoping that the terrorists would walk into flashbangs and almost screw themselves out of the round. But instead, Copenhagen Wolves going to be biting the dust, and this is quickly just getting into a position where Orgless are going from strength to strength. I mean, that's 2 rounds without losing a single player, and the one before that they lost 4. So in the last 4 rounds, unless Snappy, you know, puts a spanner in the works and picks up a few kills here, which he hasn't done, the last 4 rounds, only 2 terrorists have died. That's pretty ridiculous. Four rounds, 2 terrorists have died. It means their economy is booming, and Copenhagen Wolves are struggling to even breathe at this point. They're being choked out. It's a slow, painful loss at this stage. They can bounce back, of course. If you remember back onto Mirage, Copenhagen Wolves were winning 5-2, and then Orgless put 13 rounds in a row back-to-back. So, we know it's possible, but Mirage is a very different beast to Inferno. Inferno, a much more CT-centric map. And so far, the Wolves have been neutered, it would seem. First kill, though, is going to do the world of good. It's the first time that we've seen Snappy with an AWP in his hands so far on this map. The previous rifle round, they were just scraping together some M4s. So maybe he can start to make the AWP work for him. Good play from Percy. Double spray down from him. Very nicely done. But look at this. Behind him is suddenly a Maeve. A wild Maeve appears. And Percy's just all by his lonesome, wondering where the hell the rest of his team are gone. How did Maeve even get there? Is probably what he's asking the rest of his team at this point, because they had 2 players still on the A side. And in doing so, that now affords Flash not only the plant, but weapons as well, taken away from Copenhagen Wolves. How much economic damage can he do? Could he even clutch this? They both line up. But the strength in numbers, and SMF is there, the hero for his team. But to be fair, if we're talking about heroes for Copenhagen Wolves, Percy definitely needs a mention. 3 kills all by himself on A. Isolated from the rest of his team. Guns Gaming, it's not I'm unhappy, dude. Just, you know, life happened. I'm still a happy guy. Just a little bit, distracted, I guess you could say. Anywho. Back into the action. This is Copenhagen Wolves' chance now. If they break their own round loss bonus and then lose, Orgless are going to be rubbing their hands together, feeling pretty damn good about things. This is so huge for Copenhagen Wolves. I know that I've said that a couple times already, but CT side of Inferno, man, you're not afforded much room for error. It is a CT-sided map, but in doing so, it puts a lot of pressure on your CT side, of course, because you know through on the T side, it's going to be rough to get anything done. A big kill for Percy, just pure timing play. It's worth just rattling a couple of shots down range through the smoke. And he caught May out in no man's land. Ah, my HUD is glitched. Thanks, man. Cheers. Sorry, I just totally didn't notice. Easy fix. Thanks for letting me know. GoTV can be a bit of a pain in the ass at times. Just random glitches. And all the players on Banana from Orgless eat a flashbang to the face. Pretty much hit 3 of the 4, I think. They just heard the weapon switch, and a couple flashes, I think, are about to come over with the whole 9 yards throwing out kitchen sink in there for good measure. Molotov smokes, HEs, flashes, everything you can possibly imagine. And a good hold so far from Percy again. Tries to get the double spray. Can't get it done, but at least buys the rest of his time. His team, I should say, a bit of time onto that site. Another nade thrown in. 1 damage that did to Barbar, and it landed right next to him. You get wrecked. Just CSGO nade things. Queaton, close range. What could he get done here? Double spray, not going to happen, but it's a one-on-one. It's AWP versus AWP. Enemy at the gates. Who's going to get the upper hand? Snappy, Barbar. All the pressure is on Snappy's shoulders. He catches the hips. The hips don't lie, but they actually do. He can't get the kill down, and Barbar's playing this one to perfection. Even if Snappy gets the kill at this point, he doesn't have the time. And Barbar's like, come here. You're going to die anyway. If not by me, then the bomb. Oh my goodness. And what did I say about breaking that round loss bonus, Copenhagen Wolves? Now you are up the creek without a paddle. And there is a massive hole in the canoe. Like, you are as boned as it gets. This could be one of the fastest best of 2s that I have ever casted. If it keeps going at this kind of pace. Copenhagen Wolves are absolutely outclassed, it would appear. The 2 stand-ins who did such a great job on Mirage against Torpedo seem to have had minimal impact so far. And it's impacted the rest of the team, you can see for sure, especially on a map like Inferno. Which is so tactical based, especially on the T side. So that's why I'm saying again, they're going to go through onto the harder side. And a huge deficit. Come on, Percy. You going to pull off the craziest 1v5 with 6 HP? Nah. Nah. Why are they running into them? Well, Gavin, they only had like USPs that round, so they you know, it's kind of a throwaway round. Playing slow and steady with USPs against AKs is just pretty much never going to work. It also gets to a point as well when the enemy deflects every single strat that you have, every single play, every approach that you can throw at them. You start to go into desperation mode to an extent. You try and just make things happen. You try and force the issue. Which is really what Orgless are hoping for now. You can see their set plays aren't too fast. Like, they're just flashing, they're just waiting. They're hoping that Copenhagen Wolves get a bit antsy and try and push them. They know their economy is probably not great at this point. Percy's going to pop flash and peek with a max 7. Let's see if he gets anything done from this. Nice first frag. He knows that Barbar's the AWP. He did hear that AWP ring him out. So it's surprising to me that both of the CT players didn't peek at the same time, knowing they could get the avenging frag onto the AWPer. For me, that's a bit of a misplay. You get the first kill, but you need to make the most of that from Copenhagen Wolves' perspective. Which they certainly haven't. A 1-for-1 trade actually favours Orgless. Not just in the sense that they're on the terrorist side on Inferno, but also economically speaking, that really favours them. Molly's out. 2 players in pit, Nico and SMF. They've been here a number of times, but we haven't really seen what they were capable of doing. Because typically it's been B plays. Over and over again. SMF is here, still holding firm. It's all on flash. And he's not going to get it done. The grenade goes in, does minimal damage to SMF, and Copenhagen Wolves have got their second round on the board. But you can see, look at Orgless' economy, man. Before this round, they had 4 players over 10k. They can buy for the next couple rounds, no problems whatsoever. Especially if they go for full AKs. Barbar, though, is going to go for his AWP. Snappy, however, has an AWP of his own. Going for these peaks again. I'm not sold on this idea from Copenhagen Wolves. I feel like this could be the way that they end up getting broken again. Another smoke down, but Barbar's up for the boost now. Let's just jump on board with him so you can see the reason you go for this boost. It's over the smoke. He's going to be able to see down Banana. And there's the frag. Taboo goes for the peek and gets picked off. So even though Snappy does answer back from Arches, a position that Kenny S is ridiculous on, by the way, with the AWP. Is that going to be enough? The second kill definitely alleviates a lot of pressure for Copenhagen Wolves, but he has to relocate now. Backs off to Arches, and this is where he can start to get overrun from the terrorists. Here's SMF. He's going to step up to the plate. Great crossfire down from Copenhagen Wolves, making sure that the position of Snappy didn't come back to haunt them. This is much better from Copenhagen Wolves. Finally, they're starting to get some momentum on their side. And if Maeve isn't careful, he's about to get flanked from behind from Banana. Instead, he goes for the push. Bomb on Arches. CT's crawling all over it. And he gets picked off. Great round from Copenhagen Wolves and Snappy in particular. 3 huge kills. The first 2 were monumental from Arches. It has to be said. But as I mentioned previously, easy rebuys for Orgless. If they just stick with AKs here, they'll have another buy next round as well. And they go for an AWP instead. Going to drop that onto Barbar. It's spawn second best for mid. He's going to peek this on top of the hay bales. No one's interested from Copenhagen Wolves. And this time, interesting enough, Snappy realizing that maybe it's a bit obvious if he goes into the Archer side again. He'll be maneuvering his way through apps. So mixing it up, keeping things fresh. Of course, apps a much more unforgiving position. If you miss the shot, you're in a bottleneck and things can go horribly wrong for you, but that's not going to happen for Snappy. You can see Flash simply wasn't expecting that. That's the reason you have to mix up your positions as an AWP. Oh, Percy a little bit too far on the wagon. The idea there is to hide in the smoke. One-way smoke so you can see over it, but the terrorists can't see you. Clearly see on the screen of the terrorists, though, they did peek out a bit too far. Now some Taboo does a lot of damage to Barbar, who's down to 6. And this bomb is going to get planted from Dead Fox in the smoke. Taboo comes out. Nico's there as well. And we'll shut down. The fact that Taboo is the B player. This is such a weird round of Counter-Strike, by the way. Look at where Taboo is and how the bomb's been planted. Trade out there. Dead Fox way too aggressive for his rest of his team. Now the grenades are going to hail on in. Cretan's up there in the perfect position. The bomb isn't being defused just yet. Now it is, and it's going to be on Snappy. What can he get done with this? He's going to stick on the site. Maybe not realize this one. 2 seconds left. He goes through the smoke, and Snappy misses the shot. Oh, dearie me. That was the moment the Copenhagen Wolves to start to bring this map back. But it crumbles through the fingers again. And Orgless have broken Copenhagen Wolves again. They can force out a buy, but you can see it's nothing spectacular. And this is almost a 2-for-1 round. If Copenhagen Wolves lose this, they'll be into an eco. That'll be playing in the back of Snappy's mind right about now, I'm sure. Can he make amends for it, though? Can he pick up some big kills? This time he's on quad side. Really mixing it up, keeping things interesting. But Barbar is so solid with the AWP that, yeah, Snappy mixes it up, but he's still playing in a position that you expect a terrorist to check. SMF takes the AWP now. Barbar's added another notch on his belt. This time it's going to be Nico. The charge through. SMF, what can you get done? Can you hold down the fort by yourself? Can you be the last man standing, the hero that the Wolves so desperately need? SMF with a 3rd kill. Very nearly a 4th. That would have been a sick shot. He pulled that final one off for now Taboo. He still wasn't 100% sure if it was an A play, as he did get heavily tagged over on the B side. He's going to be saving his FAMAS. Orgless will move to a 9th round on T side of Inferno. Yes, Marcy, Taboo's a stand-in. And I hate to call games too early. I hate to say this is done, but 9-3 behind on CT side of Inferno with 2 stand-ins on a very strategic map of Inferno T side. Like, that is a tall order to ask for Copenhagen Wolves. And that's if they can even get any more rounds on this half. That's assuming they do pick up 5 or 6 rounds, which in itself is unlikely. They haven't been able to put together more than 2 rounds in a row. You can see here they've got 2 rounds. But it's just been smooth sailing for Orgless. Barbar, 19 for 5. Predominantly AWPing on T side of Inferno. It's pretty ridiculous. On CT side, absolutely. We've seen so many AWPers do that on CT side of Inferno. You can just take over the map. But on T side, you get so few opportunities as an AWPer. And yet he's 19 for 5. That is ridiculous. Either way, Taboo. Hello. This is cheeky. If this is an A plant, Taboo has a chance to catch them completely unawares. If he plays his cards right, he could pick himself up a hatful of frags. He must be able to hear those smokes on the side of A. Dead Fox has died on B. And now Taboo comes in. What can he get done? Flashbang going to stop his initial push. He's going to peek. They've seen him. So the element of surprise is off the cards now. I thought he may originally go through apps and try and catch them from balcony. As Dead Fox died, he also dropped the AK, which SMF has picked up and will be saving over in ruins. So if nothing else, Copenhagen Wall's going to try and keep some weapons alive and kicking through into the next round. Percy's going to be coming in, trying to look for the exit frags in pit, which is where you'll often see a lot of terrorists just stacking. But he will lose his deagle as a result of that, which isn't completely insignificant. And here's another buy. Copenhagen Walls, you simply have to win the next 2 rounds and then the pistol if you want any chance of bringing this back to a 1-1 scoreline. If not, Orgless will be taking this map. I have no doubts on that whatsoever. So there are so many maybes, ifs and buts that Copenhagen Walls need to figure out for themselves. Yeah, Snappy's not a stand-in. The standards are Nico and Taboo. Snappy's their AWPer. A distinct lack of grenades on the side of Copenhagen Wall. Snappy has absolutely nothing. Nico just a flashbang. Rest of the team's alright for now. Now Flash comes in. You can see the Copenhagen Walls were trying to hold the off angles of positions you're just not expecting. You've got this double firing squad spray down. And it's a 1-for-1 trade, which really isn't good enough for Copenhagen Walls in this kind of situation, because Taboo will say, like, significant damage. You're just simply not expecting that. When you come around the corner, you're expecting someone to be on the CT side, just hiding around the corner, looking for that one-tap. The idea there is to just catch Orgless off guard. Is this a Nico from Mouse Sports? No. This is a Danish Nico. I believe he's 17. Certainly not the Nico from Mouse Sports. Wheaton shows his head. Will get taken off, but no big deal for Orgless in the sense that they have taken control over the Archer's side. And will still look to push through regardless. Barbar's there. Another frag for him. There have been double stacks in pit for the majority of these CT rounds, so I think it's pretty obvious that SMF is there as well. And he gets dispatched with haste through the smoke in the head from Maeve. Copenhagen Wolves really are up against the ropes right now. Snappy and Taboo, what have you got in store for us? Can you somehow clutch this round? Are you even interested in clutching? Or are you just going to save these weapons for the final one and play for an 11-4 half, which is horrendous for CT side? And that, ladies and gents, is the order of play. So Copenhagen Wolves, best case scenario now at half-time is going to be 11-4. There's been quite some time since I've seen a terrorist side be this dominant on Inferno. It does afford them a decent buy up here, Copenhagen Wolves, but I said I feel like they need 5 rounds in to win the pistol to stand any chance. Sick flash into the peak from SMF. That's going to at least get them the first kill, which they've been able to do a great deal of times. Deadfox through the smoke and through the wooden panel on Car into the head of Percy, domes him. That pretty much just sums up Copenhagen Wolves so far today in this best of two. Nothing has been going that way. Oh, Barbar, man. This guy is just on point. You can see there that Copenhagen Wolves did catch Orgless off guard in the sense that they had 3 players on B, something I haven't done a great deal of so far other than in pistol rounds. And Barbar wasn't expecting that third player to be sat on the site, so nice little surprise. Again, though, Orgless are able to just battle through anything that's thrown their way. And now it's on one of the standings. It's on Nico. With the FAMAS, flashes himself just as much as the enemy, 12-3. And ladies and gents, I think you can pretty much just say that's a wrap. I cannot see how Copenhagen Wolves win from this position. I just can't see it. Even if they win the pistol round. Are there any people in chat that believe in Copenhagen Wolves right now? I would be super surprised to see more than like maybe 2 or 3 people say they believe. I think if you're realistic, you've got to say this game's pretty much done. Here come the kills. And it's going relatively well for Copenhagen Wolves. They're actually putting down the headshots. They're actually landing the kills. Huiten now, who has been consistently one of the better players on the server, in a duel to the death with Percy, who is going to have the advantage of more bullets in the magazine for his Glock. Barbar now, next up to the plate. 2 kills for him. Surely he can't pull this off. We've seen how crazy he was with the AWP earlier. But not this. This can't happen. That is a fake flash with the decoy, and he's not going to get it done. A valiant attempt, but Copenhagen Wolves have at least got the pistol for themselves. And by the way, Barbar's on 23 for 7. That is fairly disgusting. So, Copenhagen Wolves, you got the pistol. What can you do with the pistol, though? Can you take any more rounds down? Can you start to make Orgless sweat a little bit? A bit hot under the collar. Well, the MAC-10 spray down is certainly going to do that. SMF did eat quite a bit of damage, though. Here comes the molly jumping with the HE as well. Deadfox tries to actually catch them as they set up for the set play. And you know what? I quite like that idea. Fair enough, he ends up dying, but he did a lot of damage to multiple players. The idea is there is as they're throwing over the mollies and the HEs, you just charge on out and try and pick them off while they have the nades in their hands. I mean, why the hell not? You're in pistols, you're not expecting to do anything, especially if the set play lands on top of your head. Like, you're absolutely screwed with just pistols. Just try and make something out of nothing. I like it. The aggression's always welcome. Will be Copenhagen Wolves, however, getting their 5th round. Huiten has 7 frags. Well, to be fair to him and Maeve, what have they even had to do, really, on the T-side so far? In T-side, Barbar was just lighting everybody up with the AWP. There was no real need for anyone else to do anything. If Barbar has like 10 kills at this point instead of 23, and Huiten has like 7 or 8, then yeah, absolutely. But Barbar's just been taking so many kills on the first half that no one else was really required. Just sit up, make sure that he has decent support and he's not going to get charged from behind or something, and then just allow him to do what he does best. Play around Barbar. When he's in this kind of form, just play around him. Just let him, like, unleash him. Unleash the Kraken. CSGO. You mad, Barbar? You mad, bro? Huiten, Kevlar, MAC-10. Thought he may try something cheeky through the smoke, but instead decides to back away. Only 2 stand-ins. Well, man, 2 stand-ins is huge. That can change the entire dynamic of a team. Changes pretty much everything, to be honest. Huiten can't get it done. Gets jumped from Taboo. Copenhagen Wolves have done what they set out for, and now here comes the true test of their T side. Orgless will have M4s across the board. $10,500. You haven't forgot about that, huh? Destructo, dude. You haven't forgot about that. Those of you that just joined us at 5-5 on Mirage 100 said 10-5 in all chat. And then his team proceeded to get wrecked 10-5 on CT side. A bit of banter, I'm sure, between the two teams. Copenhagen Wolves have conceded the first kill, though. Snappy's down. Dead and buried. Barbar, that flash destroys him. SMF will pick up the pieces. Decent trade for Copenhagen Wolves. What can they do with this one? Charging onto the site. Huiten's here. This is his moment to strike. 1 frag, 2 frags as well. And a third. No, Flash came in for the second. Oh, man, I thought Huiten had got all 3. Still, 2 kills from that position is sick. Flash with the crossfire on pit. Percy, if ever there was a moment for you to go huge, now is that time. Flash does hit Huiten pretty bad, but he's going to dispatch Percy anyway for his 3rd kill of the round. And Copenhagen Wolves, the first time they're tried and tested, they fall short of the mark. Man, I thought that was Huiten with the 3 kills, man. I thought that was him just wrecking house. Here we go. Back into another rifle round. Snappy takes early damage. But Flash loses his life. So Orgless already taking heavy losses. Huiten just peeks down. Making sure that he lands the kill. And spin around USP one taps the wall. Okay, mate. Okay. I can imagine some people backing that. Flusher, is that you? Is that you, mate? Huiten now is back to the bomb carrier, the bomb wielder of Snappy. And Snappy is going to get the cheeky plant. Now, playing aggressively in this kind of situation actually makes a lot of sense. The problem is he's about to walk right into Huiten. He is going to pick him off with 4 kills again. And just as we said before, that Huiten wasn't getting that many kills. He's on 15 now. I think he started the half of 7. He's already on 15. Yeah, I know my pronunciation of Huiten's probably really bad, but I'm also not Swedish. So yeah, I'm kind of trash bags. I know. You don't have to tell me how trash I am. So Copenhagen Wolves will have to force buy to keep themselves afloat on Inferno. And it's not looking good. Molotov's landing down. It's carpet fire. Decent trade, but damage has been inflicted on Snappy. He's going to eat that fire damage. 3 plays 3. Bomb will be planted. Decent utility to actually fend off this retake as well from Copenhagen Wolves. Including 3 Molotovs. 2 smokes, one of which was just used and expended on CT side. Nico is living up to that banana profile picture. Oh, Baba couldn't get the no-scope. Comes back again and lands it onto Nico. Nico, sir, you just got wrecked, but you probably should have had that double kill. Is it going to end up hurting Copenhagen Wolves, though? There's the first death. They have to push him fast. The smoke's going to go down. Snappy, what have you got in store for us? The spray down is in effect. Oh, he's missing everything, and the bomb's going to get defused. Oh, the ninja is real, and Snappy probably just face-desked. He's done with this game. He just wants to leave at this point. So unfortunate. He couldn't afford to peek any earlier than that because he was so low on HP. And it turns out that play from Nico was potentially the defining moment for Copenhagen Wolves in round 21. If Nico picks up the double onto Banana, everything changes. But take nothing away from Barber. That was a ridiculous shot. And he's now given up the AWP on the CT side. Giving it to Huiten instead. He goes for the peak. He's going to get tapped down at 39. A bit lucky to survive with his life there. Ooh, Maeve walks into that one. Tanks the bullet with his forehead. 3 players pushing arches. Barbar. He's going to be in the thick of this one. Spots a couple. I'll go for the spray. Does at least connect one of them. But now this puts a lot of pressure on Flash. In pit again. He's been here a couple of times. It's pretty predictable that he'd be here again. Percy's going to go for the first peek. Actually goes for the drive-by. Surely he saw Flash in the corner. He definitely has now. But Flash still gets the upper hand and is alive long enough to throw his HE as well. Nico's going to eat that to the face. The spray's going to come in as well. Can Flash single-handedly stop this 1 versus 3 against him onto the site? No, he can't. Dead Fox, however, is in position to potentially retaliate. The bomb is about to get planted. Nico gets spotted, gets sprayed down. Dead Fox, 31 HP, plays 100, and Taboo just about keeps Copenhagen Wolves in this best of 2. Good news for Copenhagen Wolves. Orgless on an eco. This is their one saving grace, their one potential salvage, or salvation I should say, for Copenhagen Wolves is the economy aspect of the CTs. If Orgless keep consistently going for force buys like this one and lose them, that could be Copenhagen's Wolves' ticket back into this. But if Maeve connects sexy one-taps like that, these force buys certainly could prove to be worth the risk. Oh, that was a key moment for Copenhagen Wolves. Clutching this round out, you have to feel. With Huiten going down, that opens up things nicely on the B side. Are they going to expect an extra player there? I'm pretty sure they will think at least one player is there. They may just try and fake out Orgless on the over-rotation and just push A. But it seems like, realizing this is an eco, they're walking in, but Maeve connects another one, Deeg. I'm going to jump on board with him again. Can he get any more? Not just yet, on coils. This is a precarious position. It's very easy to nade off. Maeve is waiting for his teammates. The call would have came through, both of which are wielding 5.7s with Kevlar. These are weapons that are capable of claiming kills against AKs. He's not going to get anything done though. Barbar's last remaining player coming in, jumps up. Will be getting the first kill onto Taboo. Can he get anything else done from this? No, he cannot, and he will be just backing away. Orgless do inflict a bit of casualty though onto Copenhagen Wolves. And save themselves this armor. So, Copenhagen Wolves, you just got to put one foot in front of the other. Don't look at the top score. Just take each round at a time.
Terrorists win.
Barbar dancing. Okay. Whole lot of blue in that case, and a bit of purple as well. What do you guys reckon? I've never been a huge fan of Case Hardened, to be honest, unless it has like a crap ton of blue on it. Are you guys fans? I love me the 5.7, but I can't figure out which skin to get for it. I'm like a stat track fiend as well. I'm obsessed with stat tracks. So, after that force bite, Orgless now have to eco. So that's 2 rounds in a row that are weakened as opposed to potentially just the one. Molotov could very well spread onto Dead Fox, and indeed it will. So he's going to eat 40 HP of damage. They're not able to make the most of that, though, and pick him off. Dead Fox goes back in for seconds. Nico knows it. 2 players there. Going for the double spray down. Not able to get the second player. But still, decent start for Orgless. Sorry, pardon me. Decent start for Copenhagen Wolves. Now I can say it's a decent start for Orgless because they've got 3 kills. Huiten with 2 of them and an AK. The plot, as they say, thickens. And he's going to tell his teammate to come pick up that other AK-47 in apps. The bomb also dropped in second mid. 35 seconds left. Copenhagen Wolves, not like this. Don't lose a flat-out eco like this. This is as terrifying as it gets. 20 seconds. This means they're not going to be able to check every corner on their route to the site. And with these smokes being put down, that stalls them further yet. Barbar playing the close angle. He's going to get picked off. Is the crossfire down from Huiten? No, it's not. And he should be getting killed as well. 7 seconds left in the time. The bomb's now going to get planted from Nico. No one can stop him from mid-side. So it's looking good now for Copenhagen Wolves. It seems they have stopped the bleeding. Orgless going to be looking to rip out those stitches in the next round. Dead Fox down, and that pretty much is all she wrote for Orgless. I'd imagine that Huiten will just look for exit frags, then try and save this AK. And indeed, he will. Copenhagen Wolves are going to bag themselves 3 rounds on the bounce. And now are just 6 rounds shy of taking us to overtime. I say just 6 rounds. That is a long time between then and now. And more importantly, Orgless will have a healthy buy-up in this round. The last 2 have been sketchy buys. One of which was a force with 5.7s and such. One of which was a full-on eco. So here we go. Buy coming in. It seems a lot of you guys aren't as keen on the case hardened either. I have a case hardened 5.7 right now that has like a blue tip. I feel like case hardened's like capable of being a really sick skin for AKs as well, but it has to be a certain look, otherwise it just looks like garbage. Anyway, enough about skin talk. Let's get back into the action. Copenhagen Wolves, no early information gifted across to either teams really. This Inferno T side is typically going to be slow, it's going to be steady, it's going to be both teams feeling each other out, trying to poke and probe one another. The main difference for me between the two teams and how they approach their CT side is that Orgless have a lot more control over arches. We saw a lot in the early stages for Copenhagen Wolves. They gave up arch control, and it allowed these B splits to come through from arches and also through banana. So it's interesting that they are trying to plug that gap, not allowing it to be anything too spectacular. Also, Copenhagen Wolves were consistently stacking 2 players in pit, whereas Orgless preferred to actually put a player on the site itself. Lots of damage being inflicted early stages in this round, though. On to Copenhagen Wolves, 30 seconds left. They have to get a move on that flashbang to wreck all 3 of them. Double flash coming in. They need to get an entry onto this site. They desperately need an entry, and Dead Fox is holding on for dear life. He refuses to go down without a fight. Taboo now is going to start to come round from the backside. And for some reason, our director's like, let's just watch Percy all day long. We got a fetish for him, mate. Well, he is, I suppose, the last remaining player now. First kill goes down for him. 5 seconds. He can't pull this off. It would be a miracle. He'd have to rewind time. And Orgless are going to take the best of 2. 2-0 in pretty convincing fashion. 16-7, 16-9. Copenhagen Wolves and their 2 stand-ins were no match for Orgless today. Barbar, probably the standout player for me. Huiten also had a lot of huge moments. But Orgless will progress with the 3 points nonetheless. So let's bring up the brackets again. Obviously, this isn't updated just yet, but that was Orgless' first game in Europe A, the group stage. So they'll be moving to 3 points. That actually leapfrogs them across a bunch of